Good morning. So it has been a while since I talked to you guys. Last time I talked to you, I was just finishing my first semester of dental hygiene school. I'm gonna move back a little bit. Um, I now just finished my third semester, so clearly I did not keep up with filming. There was a lot going on, especially in second semester, that I just fell behind. I actually filmed my very first day of second semester, and then I just didn't film after that. I actually got a stomach bug the very next day and missed the biggest day of orientation week. It was literally 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. nonstop information, and I missed all of it. So I spent a lot of second semester trying to catch up on all of that information. It felt like every time I turned around, I was learning about a new requirement or assignment that I had no idea about because it was something that was gone over on that day. And honestly, if it wasn't for my classmates helping me get caught up on all of that information, I don't know if I would have made it. I'm going to try and give you guys a rundown of the last two semesters without having an hour-long video. But I'll probably miss some things because of condensing all of it. So anyway, with first semester, I talked to you guys through that. And then second semester, we started seeing patients, which made it a really overwhelming semester. So we had to have 7 patients and they had to meet certain requirements. It's more like gingivitis type patients. We don't really see a lot of periodontitis in our first semester seeing patients. That comes this semester coming up. So I went through a really big slump in the first half of the semester where I was ready to drop out. I didn't think I was going to make it. I felt behind for so long. There were so many requirements that we had to have done by midterm. So one of the things was we had 4 formatives that had to be done and then an assessment final. So you had a formative on medical history, one on EIOE, one on perio, and one on hard tissue charting. And then your assessment final was all 4 of those assessments together in one. But that assessment final, all of that had to be done by midterm. And if you didn't have it done by midterm, you got an F for midterm. And then when you did take your assessment final, whatever grade you got, there was an automatic 10% deduction off of that. So that was really stressful. We had to have our mentors' teeth cleaned by midterm. We had to have 12 requirements done by midterm. And we had a case study that we had to work on throughout the semester, but we had to have that person picked by a certain time and had to have certain parts of the appointment done by certain times. And we had papers we had to write on it on each step. We had nutritional counseling that we had to do with the patient. So it was a lot. So midterm, I ended up having 24 requirements done, which I did not think would have happened. But I didn't do too well on my midterms. I did okay. I got B's on them, but it did drop some of my grades. But then after midterm, things seemed to settle down a little bit because I had so much done. And then I just had to finish up my last couple of requirements, make sure I had my patients that I needed. And then I got A's on all my finals and all of my grades came back up and I finished second semester with a 4.0. However, that does not say there wasn't a lot of challenges. So I think the most stressful part was making sure patients showed up for their appointments. I had quite a few last minute cancellations that I had to rush around and find a backup patient. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be so lucky this semester because I kind of used up all of my backups and yeah, I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure things out for next semester. But thankfully I did not have any no-shows, but I know that is a very real possibility at any point during the semester. So for that semester, we had 8 hours of non-treatment time that were allotted to us, which is 2 clinics. So that means that you could have 2 full clinics without a patient and it not affect your grade. However, anytime over that, you lost percentage points off of your overall clinic grade. And so I think it was 0.25% per hour. So if you already used your 8 hours and then you had a whole nother clinic that you didn't have a patient, then you would lose 1 full percent. And then that can add up over time, obviously, if you're not having patients in your chair. Other than that, it was just a lot. I mean, there was many days where I contemplated dropping out. There were days where I spent my drive home crying, had mental breakdowns before I went to sleep. It was just, I'm just glad that that semester is done. And then we had 1 week of a break between that semester and our summer semester. So, I guess I should tell you what classes I took during second semester. It was obviously clinic, and then we had dental materials, which was connected to a lab, where we did like impressions, we made bleach trays, we made a sports guard, we learned how to use like a scanner. I feel like that was like the major things. We learned how to like trim a study model, diagnostic cast, and then we had perio, which I actually did really well in perio. I didn't have any issues there. And then we had medical and dental emergencies. And then we had seminar. Seminar is kind of like preclinic, where we're learning things and practicing on each other. I would say the biggest thing we learned during seminar was Cavitron, like magneto and piezo. We also learned some other things during that time too, but I would say that that was like the main thing that we were learning. And then we had to like pass so many evaluations in seminar before we could use that on our patients in clinic, but we also had requirements or evaluations in clinic for that. So like you had to have enough time to do it in clinic. Yeah, and then we had 1 week break before summer semester. I went to the beach with some of the girls from school. It was probably the best decision. I had a great time, and I got to bond with some people that I hadn't bonded with previously. And then we started summer semester, which was a 6-week semester to do pharmacology. Yes, pharmacology in 6 weeks. Sounds as fun as you would think. And anesthesia. So when I say a 6-week semester, you're still responsible for the same amount of information that you would have had in a 15-week semester. So how it worked was we were on campus every Tuesday and Thursday, but on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays and the weekends, you were responsible for other lecture material online that was supplied to you. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we had lecture for pharm, and then we had lab for anesthesia. So every Tuesday and Thursday, we were giving each other an injection. It honestly wasn't as bad as we thought it would be, but I definitely had some anxiety because of past experiences with anesthesia in the dental office. So I had a few days where I cried, panic attacks. I had 1 or 2 times where I almost fainted. So I am glad that that semester is over, but I did lose my 4.0 over the summer. I had a few challenges. My first week, I ended up hospitalized with something called rhabdomyolysis. So I missed some time, and then I moved during midterm week. The kids are home from school, so I really struggled to lock in and study at home and get my work done, and I failed my midterms. I did really buckle down in the last half of the semester, but I didn't miss any more time, so I was a little bit more present. And I got A's on my finals, and I was able to still finish my classes with B's. So I did drop to a 3.9, but that is okay because I am still here and I am still in it. I did go through another slump during the summer though, where I really started to lose my motivation for the program. Probably another reason why I didn't film, which I am upset with myself because starting this, I wanted to be transparent. I might have said that in the beginning. I don't remember. But I'm going to try and get back into things and film during the next 2 semesters. The other thing though too was for clinic you have to be there really early, and first semester I used to film in the car, where I didn't really have time for that this semester, where next semester I'm off on Mondays, so I can film on Monday and talk about the previous week. Let's see, what am I missing? I think I covered it for the most part. If you have any questions or just want to share your thoughts, you can comment below. Let me know where you're at in your dental hygiene journey. Oh, there was one other thing. When I said that I was losing my motivation, I am working at my dental office that I've been working at even before the program this month, and I did shadow one of the hygienists there because I wanted to see a procedure in real life, or not procedure, I guess you could call it that, a cleaning appointment, like in reality, and not what it looks like at school, because you know in school you have 4-hour appointments, where in the office it's like 45 minutes to an hour. And it really helped because I'm like, okay, this is reality. This is still what I want to do. I just need to push through school. It's temporary. It's not reality. And that helped to kind of get some of my motivation back. And then I do have a requirement over the summer for perio. We have to, sorry, I am like shivering because I'm so cold right now. 1 second. Sorry, kids. Where was I? Oh, perio. So over the summer, I have to shadow at a periodontist office, and we have to watch 2 surgical procedures and 1 non-surgical, so an SRP. And then we have to write a paper on it, and that is due the first day when we go back. And then also we have an OSCE, or an exam, our very first day back, and it can be on anything from the last 3 semesters. So in August, I'm going to start studying for that. I'm going to try and set aside time in each week to go over different subjects. But yeah, I'm going to make a separate video because I got my loops today, and I think it would be fun to make a video on that. But I'm going to make that in a different video. What else was there? I think that's it. So I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully I will stay more up to date with filming over these next 2 semesters. And yeah, have a great summer. Bye.